Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Your birthday at the start of fall camp, can you really do much for it or not so much?
No, the last 6 years I've really just celebrated it like on the first day of camp or third day of fall camp, so I haven't celebrated it yet.
Gotcha. Going through the motions of media day, what was the thing that came out of your mouth the most when talking about this upcoming season and what you will tell us here today?
Probably about my brother the most. I talked about him. I think every single interview question there was at least one Brock question, which is great. But besides that, obviously we talked about like us getting picked last and all that kind of stuff. So that was probably another hot topic.
Was that motivation for you guys at all? I know it's media poll versus coaches poll. It means different things. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for us guys and the guys in the room, obviously we're super pumped up. I mean, that's just someone's opinion. It is what it is. We're just focusing on fall camp, practicing one day at a time. And, 2025, like I was telling everyone else, it's a new season. So just run with that. So.
Only got one question about you and your brother. You both wear the number 13, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is
Yep.
that a coincidence or is there a reason for that?
No, usually I'm always number 12, but last year I came in here, Nate Burleson was number 12, and he wouldn't give it up, so I took 13.
Were there any negotiations with Nate, or?
I there was, and he wouldn't budge. So.
There you go. Yeah, I'm sure his dad can get you whatever
Yeah,
you want.
exactly. Yeah.
Does your last name, has that put more pressure on you, do you feel like, through your career, or not really?
When I was young, actually, honestly, no, it hasn't. I feel like in high school it did more because my brother balled out. I didn't start yet in varsity, so like that was like I was nervous. And then, from there on out, I've been dealing with this for like 8 years now, my whole life. So, not my whole life, but since I've been older. So really, there's not a lot of pressure. It is what it is. This is my last year. Just I want to have fun and enjoy it.
What's the thing you're most looking forward to this opportunity, being like the guy and having a team and knowing that everybody has your back and then they're looking at you to lead the squad?
Yeah, I'm just super excited, be healthy. And I mean, this team, I'm so excited for our team this year because you could just tell everyone loves putting in work. Everyone loves showing up to the facility. Guys are putting in extra work. Like Choate was even talking about it recently. Guys are staying later than they're supposed to, because they love it. We're just having fun. And I feel like for me, I'm excited about that because that gives me confidence, and they have all the other guys have confidence in each other because of that. So I mean, just really excited to play with all the guys this year, and I'm so glad that that I came back to be with them. So.
Coach Schultz said that you were the highest vote getter of the 4 captains. I guess, what does that mean to you, just to earn that distinction?
It means the world because, I mean, the guys, obviously, I mean, they thought highly of me, and I'm super thankful for them voting me in as captain, and super excited for that opportunity and, just to step into that leadership role.
How would you describe leadership in the way you try and present that to the team?
For me, I would say, even just like getting in the huddle, talking to the O-line, getting everyone excited to, take the field. I feel like leading in that kind of way. And then, beginning of practice, breaking it down, just getting everyone fired up, and just talking to the guys, even just in the hallways, fist bumping them, dapping them up, always talking to the guys, leading them, and if a guy has a bad day, to pick them up.
This is the first time you've entered fall camp atop the depth chart since you got to college?
Yes, sir. It has been.
Does that feel different as you guys begin this journey then?
Yeah, I'm just super excited, just roll with it and just prepare like crazy, have fun at practice, watch a lot of film, stay stretched out, heal up, and, just enjoy everything.
What's the biggest thing you feel like you have to prove, maybe even to yourself? Right?
To myself that, I can do this, I mean, I just turned 24. It's been a long 6 years. The other 5 years, of ups and downs, surgeries every year. So, this year, I'm just all right, I'm fully healthy. I'm ready to roll. And I just want to, show people that I can do this. So,
do you have any doubts about that yourself? Do you feel like you need to prove something to yourself?
Not really. Like I said, I was going to be done after last year. So, it's honestly just a blessing. I'm here again, and just going to work super hard. And, just like I said, prepare like crazy, just making sure I know my opponent. And most importantly, just trying to help the younger guys, the younger quarterbacks, being around them and just having fun with it.
Not to bring you into a low moment, but Coach Gilbertson said you've been through a lot of lows. I guess, what would you say is the lowest point in your college career that you had to dig out of?
My lowest point, I would say probably, having double groin surgery. That was so tough. I came in here at Nevada, both my groins were jacked up. I didn't do spring ball. I was watching a lot of football. and I was so bummed out. Like, honestly, last year was one of the hardest years for me. One, like, I missed spring ball, missed all of fall camp, and I just watched football. Like, I wasn't doing anything. And that's one thing I told Choate, like, if I come back, I just want a ton of reps. I just want to practice. I just want to be out there. And it's just a blessing for me to just practice. And that's all I could ask for, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's something I'm super excited and ready to look forward to.
What led to that decision to come back for you then?
Just being around, like, you know, our teammates, a lot of the guys in the team I'm super close with, and we've even added guys in from other schools this year that, I mean, we're all so close, and, you know, guys have been here for like maybe even like a month, and it already feels like they've been here for 3 years. So, I mean, just coming back to like that camaraderie and those kind of guys, it makes it worth it. So that's why I came back.
Never saw you as a gadget guy last year in a number of different positions, but what can a fully healthy, fully full-time starting quarterback to Purdy bring to this team?
You know, I feel like there's a lot of things. One, most importantly, just leadership, being able to lead the guys, being positive, and two, you know, just being athletic and just using my legs and stuff, and just commanding the offense. You know, I feel like those kind of things would be beneficial for all of us.
Coach Schultz said that you're the guy that can win this team a championship. Why do you believe that?
I believe that because, one, I've been through so much adversity in my life. I'm ready for this moment. I feel like I've dealt with literally everything you can think of that a college athlete can deal with. So I feel like right now, you know, there's 4 months left in my college career, and I'm excited for it, and I'm just going to run with it.
I'm sure you've answered this a million times, so where did the nickname come from? Because Preston Purdy's got some alliteration in there.
Yeah, no, Preston Purdy, it's a good one, but, you know, since I've been 1 year old, Chubba's been my name. So 38 pounds as a 1 year old. My dad gave me that nickname, so I've been Chubba ever since.
What are going to be the X factors in this offense performing at the level you guys expect it to perform at?
I feel like, you know, like weapons-wise you're talking about?
Yeah.
Just anything? I feel like, you know, our tight ends, like Jace Henry and Jet, I mean, those guys, they're beasts. Veteran guys, I feel like they're so good. The O-line looks amazing right now. Super pumped up for those dudes. We got a huge room for O-line. Some guys came in, a lot of guys came back. So I feel like those guys are those 5-7 guys right there. The core of the offense is going to be really good for us.
What caused you to have double groin surgery? Is that something that happened in Nebraska?
Yeah, Nebraska. I tore my right groin in fall camp. I was actually balling out. Like, I was like, man, it was the best fall camp I had. Week before season, tore my right groin. They pulled me, and then I still, for 4 months, was playing on a torn right groin. Then I tore my left groin, and I had it both torn for like 2.5, 3 months, and then I finally got surgery like in December.
Gotcha.
So.
That was the 23 season?
Yes, sir, yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you feel like you've kind of been at that point where you're going to have that breakthrough. I guess what would it mean to you to be able to look back at this season and say, I played 12 games, or maybe 13 if you make a bowl. I was healthy. I got to show everybody what I actually was.
Yeah, like what would I say?
Just what would that mean to you to be able to just get through a healthy season?
Oh, it'd mean the world to me. Like, because I mean, in high school, you dream about like college football. Like growing up watching college football, I love it. And just, you know, I'm actually here. Like, I got to Florida State, I was so excited. Then I got to Nebraska, so excited, nothing. And then now I'm here and finally healthy. So, like, if I finish 13 when I finish 13 games, I'll be super excited. And, you know, that would mean the world to me and my family, and I'd just be super blessed.
You guys open at Penn State. You've been in those big stadiums. What's going to be the message to the team before you guys take the plane to go out there, or in the locker room before the game?
You know, I'm just going to tell them, you know, we're ready for this moment. Like I said, the guys are putting in the work. We're preparing, watching film, and just, you know, stacking days in practice. Only second day, but look good. You know, and just going on the plane, just be calm, relax, trust your training, and just prepare and watch a lot of Penn State film, and just go out there and have fun and enjoy the environment.
A lot of skilled players who are new names. You've been able to see them. Give us a couple of names that you think Wolfpack fans should be looking out for.
I mean, Herschel Walker, he's been balling out. All of our running backs have been balling out, but newcomers, you know, Herschel Walker's been looking really good. I even talked to some of the guys at Utah State when I was at Mountain West Media Days, and they were like, man, we're upset, like, you guys got Herschel, because Herschel, they know like how good he's going to be and how good he is. So super excited for Herschel. And obviously Jet Carpenter, new guy, he's awesome. And then receiver-wise, Charles Brown, he's been doing really well lately. Nate Floyd, he's been looking really good. So we're excited for all of them.
I think you just became an uncle, right?
Yeah, I did.
What was that
Yeah.
feel like? An uncle in college?
Yeah, now I'm 24 in college, and I'm an uncle now. So yeah, I'm super old, but it's awesome. You know, talking to my brother and his wife and seeing the baby and everything. And us as a family, we just love being around family. We're so excited and happy for him and his wife. Can't wait to meet the baby. I probably won't meet it until it's like 6 months old, but super excited to meet her and super happy for my brother and his wife.
Is this the healthiest you've been for a fall camp that you can remember?
I was healthy. In 2021 at Florida State, I finally got healthy from collarbone surgery. That was my healthy season, and then now healthy. So it's probably like my second.
How many surgeries have you had during college, do you know?
6. I've had 6.
All various parts of the body?
4 collarbone surgeries, and that took about almost a whole entire year to heal up. It was crazy. And then I had a broken ankle at Michigan in the big house. I actually broke it there, surgery on that. And then I had double groin surgery at Nebraska.
A lot of people would just give up. I guess what's made you keep pushing forward?
Really, I'm not gonna lie to my parents. I mean, they always believed in me, and they're like, dude, like I've been so close. Like every year, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can deal with another injury. It's been just insane. And they're like, you got to keep going. Like you have all your whole life to work. Like just enjoy football. I'm like, I'm trying, but no, they're like, enjoy football. You're healthy. Like just do rehab and get back out there. And they just kept telling me that over and over. And they've been with me. Like they've carried burdens with me. I mean, they feel the pain when I feel pain. So really my parents, they've helped me really break through all this. And then obviously my faith, super deep in my faith. I've been praying about it to just watch over me, heal me, and all that kind of stuff. So.
It's rare to see someone stick around for so many years as you have, especially when your buddy Brendan Lewis hit the portal. What keeps you around in the same spot for so long?
I think this area has really grown on me over the years, and I'm a really big fan of this coaching staff. Once Coach Choate got here and Coach Gilbertson and now Coach Wade, I'm really built a strong connection with those guys and as well as the players in the locker room. So, and also I don't think the grass is always greener, on the other side. So. Being here, I'm grateful, and I'm just happy to be where I am.
New offensive coordinator, how different or similar are the schemes from what you've seen this year, and then the previous year, and the previous one before that, because you've had a lot of those seasons here?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say, every coordinator puts their own touch on things, but I'm a real big fan of the way Gilby's been doing it, and we're excited to just the way we've been practicing. I feel like it's the most efficient our offense has been since I've been here, so we're all really excited.
What differentiates this fall camp from the first 3 you've been through?
I'd say the team camaraderie. I think this is a really tight-knit group. I think Coach Choate's done a great job of, having us do things. We did a Mount Rose hike right before we had our break, stuff like that, where we have to, get together. We did bowling a couple weeks ago as a team, and just stuff like that. I feel like we got a really tight-knit group, and I think, we got a lot of really good guys in the locker room, good character guys, which is going to help us come Saturday.
Who was the first guy up to the top of the Mount Rose?
First guy? I don't know. We were in separate groups, and I was the third group, so I couldn't tell you. Yeah.
What are you looking forward to improve for yourself this year? What did you work on in the off season?
Yeah, for me it was, I'd say, spent a lot of time in the film room, and I feel like with Coach Wade coming here, he's really helped us, with the small details of the offense and, where our eyes are going to be, our feet before our eyes, stuff like that. And I feel like that's really helped me, and I've really just gained confidence within the system, just being in it now for 2 years. And I feel like the amount of reps that I've been able to get has really helped me grow in that area and just seeing different looks and stuff like that.
Coach Choate talked a lot about the discipline, and then Coach Gilbertson added it's coming from the players. The players are holding each other accountable. I guess how difficult is that to hold your teammates accountable, and what have you seen in terms of improvement in terms of discipline?
I feel like this year it's been a lot better. We got, like I said, a lot of really good character guys in this room, so it hasn't been too much of having to, hold guys accountable. A lot of guys here, want to be great, want to put in the work, so I feel like that hasn't been too tough.
Last time I talked to you was 2 years ago. How's your family doing after that fire?
Doing good. They moved to the other side of the island, and they're doing good. They're planning on moving back to Lahaina at some point next year, hopefully. But they're doing great.
When you look at your skill position players, a lot of new names out there. I guess who's kind of catching your eye thus far, either in the offseason workouts or the first couple?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good skills players. We got, Jet Carpenter, a tight end, Jordan Brown, receiver, Nate Burleson, Marshawn Brown, Marcus Bellin, Herschel in the backfield, Kai Woods. I think we got a lot of good skills players, so we're excited.
You guys are obviously in that room with Chubba, and then Carter joined it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about Chubba. What do you enjoy about being his teammate and battling for this job with him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy, top to bottom, and I love spending time with him. We hang out all the time. We're on the golf course or just kicking it, and he just brings positive energy every single day, and he's the same guy all the time, strong in his faith, and he's somebody that I like being around just because he brings others up around him.
And then Carter joined you guys in the spring. What has kind of popped about him as a true freshman?
He's confident. He's got all the skill set. He's a really impressive player, and for how young he is, and I think he's got a really bright future.
I know not everybody from Hawaii knows each other, but Sean Yamaguchi coming
Yeah.
here and making big waves. I think you guys both went to the same room.
Yeah,
right?
we both went to the same school. Yeah.
Do you have much of a relationship with him? What did you enjoy about seeing him do his thing?
Not
this year?
too much, but I think I was a senior when he was probably a freshman, I believe. So I didn't know him too much, but obviously he went to my high school, so I kept tabs on him. And then seeing him come up here and do what he did was pretty awesome.
What most excites you for this year for Nevada football and trying to get back to a bowl and do some of the things you guys haven't been able to reach the last couple of years?
Definitely. I think just how close this group is, I think it's going to be just a fun season because we're going to be able to face adversity in a much better fashion this year. I think, every year adversity is going to hit, but it all depends on how you respond to it, and I think this group's built for that this year.
What do you think the key is to hitting adversity and not letting it sink the season or impact you guys too much?
I think having genuine relationships, like outside of football, so doing not just hanging out within the locker room, but doing stuff outside, and that's things you can lean on when things aren't going your way.
After spring ball, Coach Cho said that he didn't want to bring in another quarterback because he thought he might lose you or Chubba. What does it mean to you that there's that a vote of confidence that the guys that are in the quarterback room can win in this program, and he believes that?
That meant a lot. I think all the quarterbacks would say that. Nowadays, there's quarterbacks coming into schools all over the place. So, him believing in us and reaffirming us by doing that meant a lot. And, now it's our turn to respond and, make him feel like he made the right decision for sure.
Pretty excited against the season, getting to, I'm guessing, call the plays as well. Just how are you feeling getting to be the OC?
I'm feeling great. I'm loving, the opportunity that I was given, but I also feel like I've earned. And it's fun, man. It's a great group to work with, great leadership at the top here, and I really like our group of players that we have. So it's fun, man. I come into work every day excited, and I'm ready to go. I'm excited about the challenges ahead of us this season.
What did you think you did to earn this promotion in your mind's eye?
I think it's just you just put in work every day over a long period of time. This is my 12th season coaching now, and you're getting better every day. You're learning every day. You make mistakes, and you just you go through it enough, and hopefully the guys that you coach have a good track record of playing, and you can add value to the offense when you are an assistant or when you are a GA, and you show that when given opportunity, you can do a good job.
How would you describe your offense and what it'll look and or feel like?
Multiple. Trying to create problems for defenses to defend with formations, tempos, motions, alignments, things like that, and obviously problem schemes. I'd say that. I think from week to week, based on who you're gonna play and what style of defense you're seeing, it's going to look a little bit different here and there. You have your core concepts of things that you believe in and that you're good at, and those will never really go away from week to week, but you're always going to have enough change-ups to where you're multiple enough for the defense to hopefully be on their heels a little bit.
Now that you have your full roster, I guess what are just your thoughts on what you see when you look at your players and maybe where some strengths are?
I think the message since we've been here from Coach Joe has just been unified, competitive, tough. And so I'm just excited about the fact that I feel like we're more unified, we're more competitive, we're tougher than we have been in the 18 months or whatever since we've been here. So I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with the direction. As far as the roster and all that stuff, I think, we've recruited, the right type of guys. We've talked about that before. And, guys that fit what we think are great players here at Nevada in our scheme and in our locker room and in our culture. So 2 days in, I really like where we're heading. We're obviously, it's early, but I like what we've done. The biggest thing, you're at the beginning stages of your install here at this point in camp. And you just want to see guys come out, practice hard, play with fundamentals, have the right mentality, and be a team and love to compete. And I've seen that. I've seen that on offense, so and defense as well. So I'm pleased with that.
Coach Joe kind of talked about the discipline, and he sees that as a higher level than it was last year. I guess how has that manifested during the offseason? What have you seen to indicate that this is a more disciplined team and that will translate on the field?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all saw last year that was an issue for us in games, right? I mean, that lost us some games. So you got to address it. Coach has been all over that. He's been great, and he has set a clear standard on that. And I give our guys credit, man. They want that. They've been held to that standard. They're holding each other to that standard. I think when you ask about what have you seen, to me, the biggest thing I've seen is player-led, leadership and discipline. Like coaches, we're always going to do it. We're always going to be on that type of stuff. But when they're actually policing it and setting a standard and trying to then elevate the standard, I think that's when you know as a coach, okay, we got a good type of locker room.
You look at Chubba. I mean, he seems like he's going to ascend to the top spot, I guess. What is his potential? I know he's played a little bit in college, but he's never really been the guy. What do you see as he potentially being able to accomplish this year?
He's had a journey, man. He really has, and I give the kid credit for just. I mean, if you know something about his story and the ups and downs of like his college career, that's tough. That's tough to go through as a young man, and I just give him credit for. Having a great attitude every day, being a great teammate, being awesome to coach. I think his potential, if you go back and you see when he played the most, like there's some stuff at Nebraska, it's like, man, this kid has some eye-popping talent. He's a dynamic player. And, he was in and out of the lineup there, and there was injuries there, and there was coaching changes there. But as far as his potential, I mean, I think he's one of our best players. He got voted a captain by his teammates. He's a dynamic guy that can be a force with the ball in his hand as a passer and as a runner, both called runs and off script scrambles and playmaking ability. So you do love that as a coach because that's fun to game plan that stuff. But more than anything, you love the person and you love who he is.
Where is he at as a passer? I mean, I think, like you said, athletically and being able to run, you guys played him a little bit of wide receiver and running back. He clearly has that. But just in terms of being able to execute an offense from throwing the ball and all of that, where is he?
Yeah, he's got all the tools. Quick release, tight spiral, makes good decisions. The thing I love about Chubba, and I tell him this all the time, is he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't hesitate. When he sees his read and he sees it's open, he cuts it loose. And that's what you want. A guy back there that doesn't have fear and knows as soon as I see it, I'm not hesitating, I'm pulling the trigger. So I do love that about him as a passer. He just hit a deep ball for a touchdown to end practice there. Quick release, like I said, and so he's got a little bit of everything as a passer. Yeah.
You look at the skill guys coming back. I mean, there's not a lot of returning productivity, but the one guy who is back is Marcus Bellin. I mean, how much more do you expect to see from him? Do you see him moving out of the slot and being more dynamic on the outside?
I mean, he's dynamic. What he does, like his skill set, and for all these guys, like whatever your skill set is, we're going to try to game plan that as best as possible, right? To let our best players touch the ball. Put you in positions to be successful with what you can do. We're not going to ask Marcus to be Jaden Smith. You with me? So like I think he has you've seen he's very consistent. He was one of our better players last year, and he was one of the best guys on our offense as far as run after the catch. And I think he's done all the right steps to go even move a little bit forward in that area this offseason. He's a good leader, hard worker, and he is a playmaker on Saturdays, so you love that.
When you look at the transfers you guys added on the line, it seems like a lot of FCS guys who have started a lot of games, I guess. Where is the line, and what was the goal in terms of being able to add to the group with guys who have consistent playing time, even if it was at a lower level?
Sure. Yeah, I think, when you go and evaluate the portal, you're watching a million guys on film, and you're trying to find the best guys that you can get, with the highest level of talent and character that you can get. So I really like that group that we brought in. I think Jack Foster, Hadeen, Diaby, Zach Kokenauer, that might be it right there. I could be forgetting someone else, but we obviously brought in a handful of guys. And those guys have, been really consistent throughout the offseason since they have been here. Some of them got here in the winter, some got in the summer. But they've been really consistent, good leaders, good just workmanlike mentality. And then, you get on the field now and you get to actually see them do stuff. And a guy like Jack Foster is a guy that catches your eye, routinely. Like, hey, this is a good play right there. That's a good job coming off the ball. Like, he's he's playing the right type of way. And so I like where our O-line is at right now. Coach Armstrong does a heck of a job in just developing those kids as players, and also just the mentality that you want out of an O-line group last year.
To what extent have you leaned on your dad throughout your career, and then maybe from an offensive standpoint as well?
It's great, man. Sometimes he's just, he can just be my dad, and I can just talk to him about, dad stuff, father-son stuff, and some when I have football questions, driving home late at night in fall camp, he's great to, pick his brain and say, hey, we're having trouble with this, or what do you think about this, or have you ever done this? So he's awesome, and he's always been there for me to, offer advice, and, also just staying grounded, keeping the faith. Making sure you're living your life the right way, like, normal dad type stuff. And so it's been great. I'm very blessed.
Have you had to be more vocal at practice, or I guess have you had to change in any way how you coach the guys?
Yeah, I don't feel like it's much different than just kind of how I normally am. I feel like I'm always that way. And I think when you're coaching the quarterback, you're kind of in that role already. And remember, there's a lot of times here where, Coach Lubick wasn't here, and so I'm just naturally kind of in that role. You're running the meetings for the whole offense and things like that. But it's not a whole lot different than last year from that standpoint.
Your freshman quarterback, he was here in the spring, Carter Jones, I guess. What did you see from him? And then, actually being able to coach him, how did it live up to the film you guys saw?
Tremendous kid. Humble, hungry, great family. Recruited him out of a really good area in Dallas. And he's lived up to what we thought about him, which is we think he's a great player with awesome character, super talented, and young freshman, right? So you're going to go through those ups and downs, but he's just handled everything really, really well, kind of every step of the way. And he's a good football player, and he's really a tremendous kid to be around.
I guess we'll see who emerges at running back, but Herschel Turner seems to pop in terms of the stats he put up in high school.
Yeah.
How would you describe him as a back?
I would describe him as a 5-star character kid, and I would describe him as a very good wide zone, shifty, vertical cut runner. He's really caught a lot of our attention, the first couple of days. He's made some plays. So he's great. That was a big get for us to get him. I think he's going to be a very good player here. Yeah.
What most excites you about either this opportunity or this group of guys, or just what's coming in 2025 for Nevada football?
Oh man, I don't know. You just take it one day at a time. That's hard to answer. You just kind of dialed into one day at a time. Like, what's the next meeting and what's the next install? I mean, yeah, I'm excited about the season. We all are. That's one of the most fun times of year. That's why we do this. I'm just excited to go on this journey, like with this group and in this position. And I told the guys, anytime you go into a season, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, highs, lows, but we're going on it together. And that's the fun part. And so, I'm just excited that, and I'm just excited to go practice tomorrow, number 3. So,
I do want to skip ahead to August 30th. You guys play at Penn State, I guess. What kind of challenge is that going to be for your offense, just to face a team of that caliber?
Oh, it's a tremendous challenge. They're a blue chip program, fantastic defense, great coaching staff. They brought in Coach Knowles from Ohio State. They were already good, and they brought in another great coordinator. And they have very good players. You're playing in a very, very loud environment, and it's a team. Obviously, they're in the playoff last year. They're not too far away from playing for national championship. So we know what we're going against. Tremendous challenge, but a lot of excitement here for us to get to go and play those guys and play in that environment and get after it.
Brought up J.D. Smith earlier, as he's now with the Bucs,
Yeah.
trying to make final cuts and make the squad.
Yeah.
When you were working with him last year, what did you notice about him that made him stand out, and what do you think about him could possibly translate to that next level?
He's just a real process-oriented, grounded guy. He's a worker. He's sharp. He obviously has a great skill set of he's really, really tall. He can go up and get it, a go ball. He's really good in the vertical game. So we saw all those things last year. But the thing for him, man, that NFL teams will love, and a good friend of mine, Brian McLennan, is the receiver coach down there at Tampa. So I'm excited for those two to get together. Like, the guy's going to come to work every day. He's going to give it everything he has. He's going to play with high effort, and he's a unique target, right, in terms of, pass catching. So I'm pulling for him. Great organization down there, and also Jaden's a great kid that I'm sure they're happy to work with too.